I just walked into the horse box. Oh, it hurts so much. Literally I was just walking down the driveway, minding my own business, and I've just walked into the metal bit on the front, taking the side of my knee out. Oh, that is going to be a hell of a bruise. Anyway, I can't believe I just did that. Oh, right. You're all sorted now, aren't you, sausage? I've just had the farrier out to put Mr. Woodster's shoe back on. Again, second time in the last couple of weeks. Hopefully it shouldn't come off again now. I think what was happening, well, I know what was happening was that Madam over there, Nellie New, has been marching him around the field out there because she was peed off about being out in the mud, and she's been putting her head on his butt and walking on his heels, and that's how the shoes have been twisted and ripped off. Never actually found his shoe. It's still out there somewhere. Still didn't find it, so he's got a brand new shoe on him now, haven't you? This is becoming an expensive habit, mister. I think we need to not do it again, don't we? Yes. All right, shall we put you out with the girls? That's what I just walked into. Well, I don't even know which bit of it was, but whichever bit it was, it fucking hurt. Ow. Right, oh, this is just the weirdest intro to a vlog ever. I'm kind of in the middle of mucking out at the moment. I was hoping to go for a ride this morning. Hello, Mr. Blueberry. Your face looks all greasy where I put your stuff on, huh? Your scabs are going away already, though. That's looking better. Oh, that stuff I put on his face works so fast. It's unbelievable. His ears are looking significantly less scabby as well, so that's good. Happy days for him. He looks a lot more comfortable than he was the other day. Yeah, I was hoping to go for a ride this morning, but I've just looked at the time and that ain't gonna happen. I might be able to go for one after work, possibly. Maybe I'll have to trial out my new lighting setup and go for one later. But this is kind of like the vibe of my life the last couple of weeks, like struggling to fit rides in. And I've actually really been struggling with like vlogging as well. Kind of hit that time of year where everything looks really dull and dim out here. Oh, Nellie's on the warpath. Are you being mean, Nellie? Off they go. So they'll do this all day. Nellie obviously doesn't share hay net. She is queen bee out there, so to speak. So her hay net is her hay net and nobody else's. And she's actually very, very clever because she eats a lot faster than the others and she knows it. So she'll eat a load off of one hay net and then she'll move them around. She'll make them switch. And then she'll eat a load off the other hay net. So she's kind of eating twice as much as them at a turn, and then she'll make them switch and she'll go to the other net, and she kind of ends up eating the majority of the hay out there by doing that. Plus the other two just kind of like amble along in between the hay nets while she marches. So she's eating while they're still walking to the other net as well. She's very, very clever. Very, very clever. I do admire how her brain works, actually. But at the same time, it can be a bit problematic. Oh, it's really funny. I love horse politics. It's so funny. Anyway, yeah, back to me grumbling about the winter. I am really like struggling with just motivation in general at the moment, to be honest. Like, I've noticed all my videos lately, like particularly the thumbnails, I'm really struggling with thumbnails at the moment. Everything just looks really dull and grey and brown and bleak and boring, and it's giving off a really miserable vibe, and I'm not enjoying it at all. And yeah, on top of that, like I said, struggling to fit riding in even more so than usual. This is why I'm going down the line of ridiculous amounts of LED lighting so we can actually ride out of hours. Nellie, I know for a fact, is going to be fine with this. Woody, I have ridden out in the dark before. He should be fine with this. I think Blue's the only one who hasn't been ridden out in the dark. So yeah, it's just a case of making sure that we're really obviously visible. I do have a fun idea for what I want to put on their legs as well. It's going to be so funny. Well, I will reveal that to you guys once they've actually arrived at the post. Yeah, it's going to be very entertaining. I hope it works. I actually struggle to find equestrian branded stuff to fit these guys because their legs are so big, their necks are so big. Like, you know, you can get the LED breast straps and everything like that, the high-vis stuff for horses. I can't put that on my horses because their necks are too chunky and their chests are too broad and the stuff just doesn't fit them. It's been really frustrating, but thinking outside the box this year, and we're getting there. I kind of feel like today's video is actually going to be a bit of a kind of a nothing video, actually. Do you know what I mean? Like, oh, I don't know how else to word it other than it being a little bit of a nothing video. Yeah, like I said, I'm really struggling with vlogging at this time of year. There's just not that much interesting stuff going on. Like I said in my previous video, I think we're done with shows for this year now. It's just too much like hard work, it really is. I just can't be doing with this madam looking at. What are you looking at, Nelly? What's going on? Something's caught her attention down there. Is she about to turn into a fire-breathing dragon? Who knows? No, she's gone back to eating now. Yeah, not really much interesting going on. Can't be doing with bathing horses for shows at this time of year anymore. I've done it in the past, and do you know what, actually? The numbers of people who go to shows at this time of year are dwindling massively. If there were lots of other competitors out and about, it will be worthwhile going. But when you go to the effort of bathing the horse in the middle of winter, when they've got, you know, feathers and you're dealing with mud and everything, and then you get there and there's like one other person in the class, it's like, really? I just went to all this effort and there's not even a competition going on. It's just so frustrating. So yeah, that kind of thing is probably not going to be going on until spring again, but we're done with the showing. And yeah, I've really been kind of thinking, like, what am I going to vlog about? Like, I actually have no idea what I'm going to vlog about because there's just nothing interesting going on. And then I kind of, my brain starts spiraling down that little rabbit hole of, well, shall I just stop vlogging for the winter? And then your brain kind of goes, well, shall I just give up altogether? I kind of had to stop myself and I was like, right, okay. So yeah, you've hit a bit of a wall with this whole thing, and, you know, it is difficult when you're an outdoor vlogger at this time of year, I won't lie to you guys. And I thought, right, okay, let's just kind of go back to basics here and let's focus on why you actually do YouTube in the first place. And I kind of got thinking about that. And my reasons are actually quite complex when I thought about it. So most people's reason for doing YouTube is because they make money doing it. My channel isn't monetized. And I'll be honest, that was actually the reason I started a channel. It was kind of back in COVID, you know, where everybody was frantically like, how can I make extra money? You type that into Google and one of the top things that comes up is start a YouTube channel. So I was like, yeah, okay, I can start a YouTube channel. Very quickly realized that it was incredibly difficult to do a YouTube channel. Very, very difficult. It takes a lot of getting used to, and there's a lot of things to think about that, like, people don't really think are going to be a problem for you. And that kind of leads me into actually why I've kept doing this. So in a weird sense, this has kind of become like a personal development tool for me over the last couple of years. So even though I don't actually get any kind of financial gain from doing this, I get a lot of personal gain, because when you make YouTube videos, and specifically when you make the kind of videos that are documenting your life and filming your everyday activities, like vloggers. Ow! Ah! Electric wire! Damn it! Clearly today is a day for injuring myself, right? But yeah, when you make these kinds of videos, where you're kind of putting the camera on yourself and your life, it can be very enlightening. Sometimes in a very eye-opening and disturbing way, and it kind of allows you to see yourself as the rest of the world sees you, which can be very traumatizing sometimes. I think that's why people hate seeing themselves in photographs and hate seeing themselves in videos, because, you know, generally speaking, we never see ourselves. Like, we see literally everything in the world except ourselves. And when you start to look at yourself, like in video format, like you're seeing yourself as the rest of the world sees you, and it's like, oh, damn, it can be really uncomfortable. But if you kind of push through the uncomfortableness of having to confront who you actually are as a person, then you can start to identify things that you don't like about yourself and actually fix them, which has been a really, really, really positive and useful thing for me to do. There's been lots of things that I've picked up on over the last couple of years of filming myself, and I'm like, man, Demi, you are a dickhead, you know? And it's not been very nice admitting that, But seeing it and identifying it and accepting it means that I've been able to make some changes in my life, which I am very, very happy with. And that's kind of why I've carried on with this. And the last couple of weeks, when I've been having this like head banging on a brick wall conversation with myself, and I'm like, oh, it's just too hard at this time of year. There's nothing interesting going on and everything looks miserable and dull. And I'm like, do you know what? No, let's not have that mindset, because even if you're not producing like the most visually appealing or entertaining content at the moment, it's still a really valuable process. So I'm going to keep plowing on, basically. Probably just going to be lots and lots and lots of hacking stuff. I mean, I feel like a lot of my content is just me going out for hacks anyway, really. It's probably not going to be that different to normal, is it? Oh, do you know what? I actually feel like a lot of this is really in my head. Like, I mean, a lot of the vloggers that weird noises. A lot of the vloggers that I follow are kind of like outdoor vloggers, like horse riders, farmers, gardeners, that kind of thing. And so their content varies massively throughout the seasons. And I'm sure they get these problems as well. I'm sure they get to this time of year and they're like, man, everything just looks miserable and we're not really doing much of any interest. But they keep going. And you know what? I keep watching their videos because there always seems to be something that comes up that's of interest and of value. Anyway, that was a very random splurge of thoughts. Very, very chatty video today. Not much horsey stuff going on. But yeah, I just kind of wanted to fill you guys in on where I'm at in my head. Just splurge some brain thoughts out at you. And while I'm on the topic, actually, if anybody has any like video requests or any ideas of things that they would like to see, now would probably be a good time to go ahead and throw those in my direction, because I am really having a hard time trying to think of what I'm going to shoot for you guys. I've got a few ideas of things I want to talk about, so like I wanted to talk about Blue's feet, actually. So Blue has got issues with his feet that I've mentioned loads of times before, and I wanted to do a video sort of talking about that at some point in the very near future. And possibly talk about feather mites as well. We've had an issue with feather mites recently. I thought I made a video a few years ago, but I can't find it now. Maybe it was one of those videos I made in the really early days and it turned out to be crap and I didn't post it. Possibly. I can't actually remember, but I can't find it either way. So I feel like I want to do something about feather mites. But yeah, if there is anything you guys would like to see, I am completely open to suggestions. Please let me know in the comments section. Yeah, some inspiration would be very much appreciated right now.